who've been, in fact, talking about that this man that was killed was the answer to Christ in the earth. Y'all ain't saying nothing. They having moments of silence in black churches all over the country over a man that was racist and a white supremacist.
So we're going to stop for a second. I just want to say this real quick, y'all. Number one, thanks for watching. It's your boy, Brother Wesley. We're going to respond as we are to a Marcus Rogers video, okay? Now, Marcus Rogers is a guy who's extremely pro-Trump, pro-Republican, all of that kind of stuff. All right, though he'll probably say, you know, I'm for Christ, all that kind of stuff. That's not the truth. All right, he supported Trump, all right, all of that. All right, and he supports Charlie Kirk, and he comes against, as he's doing in this video, he's coming against pastors and people that are speaking the truth of God. All right, about Charlie Kirk, or who he was, and the mess that's going on, how they're telling us black folks to honor this demonic, evil, racist young man that died. Okay, let's go.
You compare him to Martin Luther King. The only thing that Charlie Chris and Martin Luther King got in common is both of them was killed by a white man. After that, they got nothing else in common.
I'm overwhelmed seeing the flags of the United States of America at half staff calling this nation to honor and venerate a man who was an unapologetic racist.
Yo, we cannot be silent about the idolatry and the racism that is going on in the black church. And Jamal Bryant is one of the biggest goofies behind a pulpit. Just because you sitting there hooping and hollering, I said God said, that don't mean it's anointed. That don't mean it's spirit filled. This is the same dude that went to the gay church with two gay men as pastors and acknowledged them as the first gentleman.
That's true. What he's saying is true. But at the same time, Jamal Bryant is right here. Okay, now you see here, Marcus Rogers has nothing to counteract what Jamal Bryant is saying. Instead, he's bringing up something completely different. He's 100% correct that Jamal Bryant did do that. But once again, it doesn't mean that Jamal Bryant is wrong when he's saying that we shouldn't be honoring a racist man. Let's continue. So he's off here. We just started already. Marcus Rogers is not coming with these. He's not coming with an answer. He's trying to do what's called misdirection. Okay, redirection. Say, look over here. Look at this. Look at that. Which is what they always do because they don't have an answer. Okay, so they always got to move you to look at something. Move the goalposts. Look over there. All right, and dumb people will look at what Marcus Rogers is saying and say, "Oh, wow, you're so smart, Marcus Rogers." No, he's not. Let's continue.
Are y'all still listening to this man like he led by the Spirit and everything he do go against the Bible? I'll tell you why. Because y'all put culture over kingdom and there's idolatry in the black church. Hey, my sis said it best. She said, don't be so pro-black you become anti-Christ. That is the problem. Show me the
So, answer what he said, Marcus. You're not doing that. You shouting in your car, but you don't have no answer for him. People look at Marcus Rogers like he's a great speaker. This man, in my opinion, is a fool. Okay, this man, you may say, well, how can you call him a fool? Because the man supports people that are against him and his own people. And not only that, but then he preaches. Online, this guy has almost 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He actually preaches this. Okay, that black people should support people that hate us. So in that, yes, this man is a fool in those things. Okay, you may say you shouldn't say that. Oh, yes, I should say that. It's the truth. And anybody that watches him and thinks that Marcus Rogers is an intelligent human being bringing the intelligence of God, as I just showed you, he brought up what Jamal Bryant said. Was Jamal Bryant wrong? No. Okay, you can't say that he's wrong. A lot of black folks, a lot of folks, y'all can say what y'all want, but y'all can't say that Jamal Bryant is wrong and that Charlie Kirk was a racist. We can easily see that. This is the same young man that said get rid of Juneteenth. Why would he say that? But did he say get rid of Independence Day? No. Wonder why he chose to say get rid of the one black holiday. He also said that Martin Luther King was an awful person. That's exactly what he said. Look, don't believe me? Google that. He also said spent 2024 campaigning to remove the civil rights bills and the civil rights acts that Martin Luther King and many people fought and died for. That's what your boy Charlie Kirk did. The guy who y'all say wasn't a racist. Oh, yes, he was racist. And I go on and on. He also said that systematic racism was a myth. Him being a 30-year-old white male, he said racism is a myth. I can see why he would say that because he's a white male in a country that's controlled by white men. So of course he's going to be able to say that. Okay, he cannot experience racism from someone who's white over him because he's white himself and the nation is ruled by white people. Okay, but that's something that even a 2-year-old can understand. Let's continue.
Hey, Jamal, take the tape of Charlie Kirk being racist and post it on your platform because y'all keep running with this narrative. Y'all got a lot to say. Show me the tape. I done looked at every video where they
got videos on my page. I'm not going to cut them in here, but I'm going to tell you right now. You can look on my page and see the videos on my page, on my YouTube page, where Charlie Kirk is saying, I got short videos where he's saying, one video he comes on, he said he's in his car. You can look it up online. Type in Charlie Kirk Juneteenth. All right, I'm not going to cut it in there. I'm just going to tell you, because I got to do this all day. I'm not going to acquiesce everything Marcus Rogers is saying there, because the reality is that he saw the tapes. He just don't want to believe it. That's what it really is. He loves this racist so much, he don't want to believe that. Charlie Kirk is sitting in his car, and he literally starts to hit the video by saying live or whatever, saying, I'm on my way to work, and people are saying Happy Juneteenth. This is literally what he said. And he says, it should not be a federal, he says, what did he say? He says, it should not be a federal holiday. And there's something else. And then he says, goodbye. It's like a 10, 15 second video. All right. Which is a clear dog whistle to people who are racist that listen, I hate blacks. Okay. To dumb black people that are watching Charlie Kirk, they're watching that video. They thought, well, I guess it's like the holiday. It doesn't mean anything. Duh. Yes, it does mean something. If somebody, for example, calls me anti-Jewish, right? And you say, I don't think Winston is anti-Jewish. But then you see me a tape of me saying, why are we celebrating a Jewish holiday? Let's say it was whatever, like Yom Kippur, whatever holiday that the United States celebrates, okay? I forget which one it is. Let's say I say, Yom Kippur, it should not be an American holiday. I'm going to work. I'm out. And you saw that tape of me saying that. Wouldn't you think that I am anti-Jewish if I were to say it with no explanation? Okay, yes, you would. But when Charlie Kirk could do it, all of a sudden, he ain't racist. He just happened to say it. No, the guy was obviously a racist. Come on now. And this guy right here, Marcus Rogers, is cooning it up to the highest degree. Let's continue.
You're goofy, bro. You a clown, bro. You a wolf, and you misleading the people. And you know how you do it? Because of the hurt, because of the trauma.
Now, still, you see, Marcus Rogers is not addressing what he says. See what I'm saying? He's saying that he did X, Y, Z, and he's right that what's the guy, Jamal Bryant did do things that wasn't good. We all have sinned. Okay, but at the end, and you may say, well, if that's the case, why are you coming against Charlie Kirk? He sinned too, because we're being told to honor him while he was in his sin. That's the problem. Okay, if Jamal Bryant, for example, went on a campaign before his death, marrying homosexual pastors, for example, right? Well, I say, oh, let's honor Jamal Bryant and his death. No, I want to do that, just like I want to honor Charlie Kirk. Exact same thing. But in what he's talking about, Jamal Bryant is 100% right, and Jamal Bryant has been right on many instances of race before. Okay, many ones. With all the mistakes that he's made, he's the person that has stood up. I've seen it on many occasions, going back many years. And this guy, and Jamal Bryant, had all kind of stuff going on. Even in his marriage, all kind of stuff going on. Okay? But even that guy can see what y'all cannot see. Y'all so-called great Christians. Even he can see what y'all can't see. Even people in the world that are unbelievers can see what y'all can't see and what y'all won't stand up for. But y'all want to say y'all Christians. Y'all want to say, I stand for God. No, y'all don't. Let's continue.
Black community. Yes, a lot of evil things happen. Yes, there is some racism. Yes, what happened back in the day with slavery and through the civil rights movement, it was awful. But some of you black pastors, you make
it. Marcus Rogers, you just said what happened in the civil rights times was awful. But Charlie Kirk, your boy, said that Martin Luther King was awful. So which one is it? See what I'm saying? Now, is Charlie Kirk going to mention that? No. If someone were to bring that tape and send it and make Marcus Rogers watch it, I guarantee you he would have an excuse for it. I guarantee you that. Do you think that Marcus Rogers knows that last year, all right, that his boy Charlie Kirk was going around trying to remove the Civil Rights Act? Yeah, yes, he knows that. He knows that. He knows all about that. And he loves it. He loves it. But you know why? As a black man, why he would love it? Because he sees it as, look, we're coming against those ghetto black folks that I don't like. Okay? Like Jamal Bryant, all the rest of the guys I don't like. I'm gonna sit here and watch these white people tear them down. All right, I'm gonna congratulate these white folks because I want them to tear them down. Because a lot of black folks, they have racism in their hearts against their own people. All right, so when they see these white people doing this stuff that is not of God, they sit back and they say, yes, get them. And then they say, oh, they're not racist when you know that they are. But then when they come for your black behind, they're gonna be saying, God help me. Black people, come help me. We're gonna say, we ain't gonna help you because you didn't help us. You sit there and watch and endorse them when they were doing evil, and you knew that, and now you want us to come help you. Just like with Candace Owens. Candace Owens I was talking to my friend about this yesterday. Candace Owens loves talking against black men, loves talking against black folks. Everything that happened, when a black person would die or be murdered and they were unarmed, chopped by a cop, whatever, Candace Owens was right there calling them a criminal. But when she opened up her black lips and spoke against a Jewish person, I think it was last year, whenever she spoke against the Jewish community, said something that they said one thing, all of a sudden they threw her black behind her out the ship. They said, Candace Owens, you gone. And now Candace Owens is trying to stand in the middle. Now Candace Owens don't know where she want to be at. You want to know why? because she's black. That's why she didn't see that. She didn't stay with Master. She should have stayed at Master's quarters and done what he told her to do. But she realized, I can't do this. I can't do it this time, Master. He said, okay, watch who you're gonna become. You're just a nigga like all the rest of them. All right. And people still listen to Candace Owens, still listen to people like Marcus Rogers, and I think it's astonishing. Let's continue.
Our people be victims. You teaching the opposite of what the Bible says because you the real racist. And some of y'all make money, right, by keeping our people down, and they looking and they put all their hope in the pastor. What y'all really, man?
Once again, is Marcus Rogers wrong when he's saying that people are putting all their hope in the pastor? He's right about that. He's right about that. But once again, it's misdirection. Did he address anything that the pastor just said, that Jamal Bryant just said? No. He didn't address none of it. But he talking real loud in his car, and he turned and said, like, man, I done said so much, I gotta turn my head away. You didn't answer nothing that he said. All you did was talk about other stuff. But let's continue. And people will look at Marcus Rogers and say, wow, he's so smart. Let me follow him. Why? Why would you do that? Let's continue.
I'm sick of it, bro. Show me the tapes. Show me the tapes. Stop making the claims if you don't got the tapes. What's it gonna take for y'all to wake up? It's been so many things that y'all been wrong about. Listen, God don't got a black church and a white church. It's just God's church. Jesus said, if I be lifted.
Yes, he's right about that. Once again, you've not addressed what he said. See what I'm saying? I'm not making this up, yo. You can clearly see he's not addressing what Jamal Bryant and the other pastors said when they're saying that we're being called to honor a man who's racist, and that's not right. Okay, they have the audacity not only to push this demonic racist Charlie Kirk, but then when he dies, they have the audacity to tell us to honor him when he was speaking against us. Why on earth would we do that? That's like you telling the slaves after their slave master that's with them for years dies, I want y'all to honor him at his funeral. We're not going to do that. He's a slave master. It's evil. That's what Charlie Kirk is like. Okay, if Charlie Kirk had his way, in my opinion, slavery will be back. All right, that's why he was working to undo the Civil Rights Act. Duh. Use your common sense. Okay, but some of y'all just cannot think, because people like Marcus Rogers, it's like they put a seed in your mind that causes a cancer to come into you, to break down your common sense, and you cannot reason and use common sense. And what I'm telling you is common sense. I have the power of God and the grace of God in my thinking so that I can clearly see and use my eyes and use my ears. Okay, Jesus said he who has ears to hear, let him hear. Why did he say that? Because a lot of y'all have ears to hear, but y'all don't hear. Y'all don't see. You have the ability to do that, but you don't want to hear. He's sitting there saying, oh, well, send me the tapes. You can look and find the tapes yourself, Marcus Rogers. You have almost 1 million subscribers. This is how you're making thousands of dollars every month. This dude, Marcus Rogers, probably makes at least probably over 10, 15 grand a month, or more than that, maybe 20, just from his videos on YouTube alone. Okay? But people are working, doing all these different jobs to watch this man. This man is sitting there, coming online, is making these videos and lying to y'all. I'm on YouTube. I know how the YouTube money works. I can look at his views and how much money this man makes. All right. And he's coming on here, acting like he's so concerned when he's not giving y'all any knowledge. And the reality is on YouTube, most of the people that got the most views and subscribers, most of those people, all right, they don't have a lot to say, but they know how to create a show. They're great at creating a show, but they're not great at telling you the truth. Okay. They're not great at breaking down the truth. But the people like me that, that bring the truth a lot of times people don't want to watch our channels like that because of the fact that we don't have to show that they have. We're not putting on all the glitz and the glamour that they have. All right, but let's continue.
I will draw all men unto me. There really is no such thing as just a black church. If you got an all black church, something is wrong, because if Jesus is being lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. If all men are not getting drawn to your church, is something wrong with the stuff that you.
So if you're in a black area, black area, all black people are there. I've been in plenty of churches where it's just all black people. Okay, Philadelphia is 40-something% black. You're gonna see that all over the place. You're gonna see mixed churches too. I don't know where Marcus Rogers lives at. I don't know what state he's from. Okay, what state he's in. But what he said right there is completely ridiculous. It sounds good, doesn't it? It just sounds so sweet. It sounds so right, but it doesn't make any sense. It sounds good. If you're in an area where it's mixed and all black people come, then Marcus Rogers will be right. If it's a mixed area, but depending on the demographics, what he's saying don't make no sense. But of course, he's not going to tell you that because he doesn't want you to think. He wants you to listen to the foolishness that he's saying and not use your whole brain. And like Jesus said, he who has ears to hear, let him hear. You're not hearing because you're not thinking. Okay, let's continue.
And that goes for white churches too. There's one church. And how is it that the rest of the body is saying one thing, but the black church always just doing the opposite, doing their own thing? And oh, by the way, y'all always we see.
No. How is it that the white evangelical church that are racist, not all of them are, not all evangelicals are racist, but many of them are, especially in the Bible Belt states. How is it that they are on some wickedness and many of the black churches won't stand for it? Well, it's because they're on wickedness, Marcus Rogers, and we won't stand for it. That's why. Like right now, both y'all telling us to honor a racist, which is essentially the dude was like a KKK grand wizard. Okay, that's the level that this young man was on. He actually outdid the KKK grand wizard. Okay, because even he didn't go on a campaign to remove civil rights. This man did. And you're telling, and you got the audacity to sit there and say, why is it we're not on the same wavelength as those churches? Use your brain. Let's continue. But a person not knowing these things will believe in him and say, oh, he's right. He's right. Not seeing that everything this man is saying is complete foolishness. Let's continue.
Agree with the LGBTQ and all of these worldly liberal people who hate God. How you don't see that? Wake up, man. Listen, I'm tired of it. The black.
Now he's saying all black churches agree with the LGBT. No, they don't. We don't all agree with the LBGT. What are you talking about? Go to any Baptist church. Go to Pentecostal black church. All kinds of things. They're not pushing that. What are you talking about? Now there's some. I'm sure there are some that if they lean extremely Democratic and Democratic Party is with that, yeah, they will say, oh, well, we'll accept that. Okay, most black churches won't, but there are some that will accept that. I've seen churches, even in this city, where they have signs that say they're for that. Okay, so some do. But it's like one out of all, it's maybe like two in the whole city of 1.6 million people. But let's continue.
Church gotta wake up. I understand that there's.
You gotta wake up to do what? To honor a racist. Get to the point. He's not getting to the point because he has no point. Outside of, y'all, we need to make sure we honor Master Charles. Let's continue.
Trauma, that there's hurt, that there's pain. I get it. But listen. Either the Bible work for you or it don't. Either you believe what the Bible says or you don't.
What does that have to do with a racist man that y'all telling us to honor? What does that have to do with that? No answer. This is the same man, Marcus Rogers, if I'm not mistaken. Not only was he for Trump when he had his insurrection. Remember when Trump had the insurrection? And this man, I made a video about it. Marcus Rogers was defending him. Okay, behind him saying, Trump is a man, and he actually said, if I'm not mistaken, said that God told him that Donald Trump would be the president again. He actually said God told me that. Then when he didn't become the president, he said, oh, well, I must have messed up. And y'all looking at this man still, you look at Marcus Rogers, like he's some kind of prophet, he's some kind of man that's hearing from God. Unbelievable. But let's continue.
Either you're gonna be a victim, or you're gonna believe what the Bible says. Great is he that is in you than he that is in the world. You're more than a conqueror. Any black.
This is what they always say. He said, why do you keep stopping the video? I have to. Number one is YouTube rules. You gotta stop the video. If you keep playing it, it's like plagiarism. But also, I gotta stop it because he continually lying. And bringing up foolishness. Over here he says, you playing the victim. That's a lie. We're not playing the victim. We've been victimized by the ones who are oppressing us. And that's the truth. Okay, somebody comes up to me and stabs me in my abdomen. And then I say, I need help. And you come and say, why are you playing the victim? We overcomers through Christ. Well, I was stabbed. That's why I'm saying I need help. Has the black community not been stabbed? Okay. Multiple times. First by coming over here, being made slaves. And then some of the fools will say, well, that's not y'all. That's your ancestors. But the problem is that it connects to us because they're our fathers and there's no money. There's a zero money trail. There's a zero money trail but from them because they were made slaves. So you can get that out the way. Oh, it's not us. Yes, it is us. There's no money that came to us for all them years. So we're starting 1,000 miles below every other race. You understand what I'm saying? Number one. Then from the civil rights era, we had to fight for every little thing. And that's the reality of Reconstruction, which is the time right after slavery, when our fathers were lynched. Even go back to the 50s, let's go to the 20s, let's go to the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 60s, even now, even just the other day, a young black man was found lynched at a black college. True story. I'm not making this up. Lynched at a college, I should say. Excuse me. True story. All right. I'm not making this up. I actually have a video on it on my YouTube page right before this one. All right. It's been happening all the time. You want to know why? And they said, oh, we don't want to see any sign of foul play. So after Charlie Kirk is killed and black people are not falling in line to worship him, now all of a sudden black people are being hung on the college campuses. When it was on college campuses that black people were seeing, saying, listen, this is not right for us to be supporting this guy. Okay, and they got mad. There's a video of a young black man who was mocking Charlie Kirk's passing. I'm not endorsing mocking his passing. So what happened? Some white folks, saw that and said, let's go to a college campus and hang a black person. That's exactly what happened. Just like their fathers have been doing for years. That's what happened. He didn't say, let me go hang myself. Black people don't do that. He was hung. He said, let me go to a college campus and go hang myself as a black man. But let's continue. My fault, but the reason why I stopped was because he said, stop playing the victim. Stop playing the victim. That's what they always say. When we're hurt and we're in trauma, okay, we're overcomers through Christ. Okay, but when these white folks, and I'm talking about the racist ones, okay, not all white folks, okay, when they're hurt, when something happens to them, let's send them money. They'll come on TV, on CBN. We need to come together to send them money to help them, pray for them, pray for me. But when black people are hurt and victimized, all of a sudden, y'all need to stand up. Stop being a victim. And that's coming right from the slave master mentality and coming right out of Marcus Rogers' foolish lips. Okay, let's continue.
That is not teaching that, you're doing a disservice to the people. If you're preaching for the people to have a victim mentality, that is not Bible. We are not of the world. We are separate. We are kingdom. I don't care if it's racism. I don't care wherever it's going.
Of course you don't care if it's racism. That's why you have a platform like you do. Let's continue.
Everybody got problems. Everybody got issues. But greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Whatever your giant is, the God in me is bigger. We'll deal with it.
Here's the thing. If you don't care, what's his boy name? What's this guy's name? I almost forgot. Marcus Rogers. Okay, they all like it. Okay, so Marcus Rogers, if you don't care, then why do you care for Charlie Kirk death? Seriously. See what I'm saying? Why are you standing up for his death? That man was a racist. He was not a Christian. He was a racist, okay? People may say, no, he was a Christian. You cannot be a Christian and a racist at the same time. So he was not a Christian. It's as simple as that. You can clearly see by the video that he was not a Christian. This man, it is not one video. It's like probably thousands of videos of this guy saying all kind of ungodly stuff, okay? And racist stuff. So he was not a Christian, number one. So why are you standing up for him? Because he has videos on his page of him supporting Charlie Kirk. Him saying, Charlie Kirk, all kind of stuff. Like basically saying, yeah, that's my dude. So why is it that you're playing the victim then? Okay, see what I'm saying? And he has no answer for that, but let's continue.
We'll address it, but it's almost to the point where it seems like that's what makes y'all relevant. Culture. Y'all put culture completely over what the Bible says. It matters the lens that you look through everything. If you're not looking through life through a kingdom lens, and your lens is just everything I'm just from the black perspective, then your mind hasn't been renewed. Everybody got pain, got trauma, got different experiences, got different things that they could say, well, I didn't have this in life, I didn't have that. I get it.
There's another thing that people that are foolish, like Marcus Rogers say, they'll always say, you're looking at everything from a black perspective, as if we should look at everything from a non-race perspective. The only and the reality is that black people in the United States of America look at things as a we're all together perspective. But what happens is that when we're treated in a racist manner, then we have to say, look, you treat me this way because I'm black. Okay, like when I was waiting for a bus and a cop just grabs me and says, give me all information. Okay, for no reason at all. When I'm driving my car and I'm pulled over and over again because I'm black. Even with passengers in the car. I have a woman in the car, I'm pulled over, and they even demand a woman in the car give her them all her information for no reason at all. You want to know why? Because I'm black. That's why. So when I mention that, say this is racist, then they'll say, oh, well, and they have no answer. And then they'll say, stop saying blah, blah, blah. But the problem is that they're making us say that. And this was the foolishness coming out of this man's mouth. Okay? They make you have to say that because that's how they treat you. It's like telling a woman that was ard. Okay, I'm saying she was ard, saying, you keep on talking about being ard. Well, if that's what happened to her, that's why she has to say that. You being a man probably wouldn't happen to you. Okay, it's highly likely it would happen to you, but it can happen to a woman much more likely. Okay, much more high probability that would happen to a woman than what happened to us as a man. So me to say, stop talking about this. That's basically what he's saying to black folks. Okay, and the whole black community, since that we came over here, has been armed by the evil white supremacy that's been in his nation. Now, of course, he's going to say, well, we overcomers through Christ. Of course we are overcomers through Christ, Marcus Rogers. Of course that's the case. But the problems that are there are still there, and they have to be addressed. They have to be addressed. Simple as that. But he's such a fool in what he's saying, such a fool in his thinking. He's basically saying, look, as for all of our problems that are happening and coming against us to the races, just ignore that. Just ignore it, y'all. I know that it exists, but stop talking about it. People are talking about it so we can come up with answers and solutions. But Marcus Rogers is offended at people even talking about it because he is the spirit of these racist people in him and on him. That's why he's offended at it. That's why when they even hear you talking about Charlie Kirk, when they hear you talk about any of these people, they immediately will come to their defense and be offended at you and throw subtle jabs at you through their comments, subtle slick jabs at you to try to say they don't like you and they think that you're in sin. I've had many Christians over the years call me or text me or email messages when I bring up racial issues and say, you know, brother, I don't know if you're on the right side and all this kind of mess. And they do it because they have the mindset of these racist people in them. You want to know why they have that mindset? Because they watch different shows on CBN, TBN, and now the Word Network. Okay, these are different so-called Christian networks. Okay, and what the people will do is they have people come on there, they have all these preachers come on there from the Bible Belt states, okay, down south, and a lot of these preachers are straight up racist. Their fathers are racist, and they're racist just like their fathers. All right, and they come on and they say all kind of stuff against black folks, but they say in a white dog whistle, so only white people can really understand. And they're saying all kinds of stuff against them. So when these black folks are watching these shows, their mind is being trained to think like them. Okay, their mind is being trained to think like them. So then when they see something happen and we black folks stand up, they see there's a difference between our mindset and their mindset, and they don't know it's because their mindset has been tainted by the people they listen to because they have not vetted the people they listen to. Just like black people have hit me up and said, I didn't know that Charlie Kirk was racist, but you was watching this man for years. Or you knew about him. Or you heard about him, and now you're celebrating that man you didn't even know about. So then when I say something against him, you get mad at me, and I say, look, he was racist, and I've told a few black folks he was racist, and I showed them, and then they said, oh, I didn't know that. They literally told me I didn't know that. Okay, but you were mad at me, but you didn't vet him, and I did. I did my research, you didn't. So why are you mad? You should apologize to me, but they're definitely not gonna do that. They're not gonna say, I'm sorry, you was right. They ain't gonna do that. They would never do that. Because their racist masters would not allow them to do that. But instead what they have to do is continue to prop up whoever they tell us to prop up. And only an idiot, only a fool with a low IQ would do that. Okay, let's continue.
All that. But the Bible works for everybody because God don't discriminate. He's no respect of persons. We got to do better.
We're going to stop right there. I know he don't got nothing else to say. I know, boy, he don't got nothing else to say. All right. He looking there like he Malcolm X with his finger on his chin with nothing to say. We got to do better. And he's right in that. We do need to do better. You're right about that, Marcus. That's the one thing I do agree with. We do need to do better. We need to stop listening to people like you. We need to stand up as a body, whites and blacks, okay, Asians, all their races. We need to come together and say, you know what? What's happening to black folks is wrong. What's happening in this group here is wrong. All right? What this man Charlie Kirk said was wrong. All right? Trying to undo civil rights, which allow blacks to get things like, to do all kind of things like being able to vote and all kind of stuff. You trying to undo that. Why would you want to do that, Charlie Kirk? And when you're calling us to honor that man, no. Oh, but we need to do better. Next time we need to honor him, like we should. Now we need to honor him. So if Ben Shapiro were to die, we need to make sure that we're there to honor this racist because he's another one. Okay, you don't know who he is. We need to make sure we need to make sure that we're there to honor him bright and early. Only a fool will listen to people like him. Okay, if you listen to Marcus Rogers, stop listening to the guy. Stop listening to this guy. Okay, he cannot help you. He cannot aid you. Oh, and this is another thing a lot of foolish Christians will say. Well, I know they're doing a lot of mess, but you know, I'll watch it just for the Jesus component. You don't need a fool to tell you about Jesus Christ. Understand that. I don't need a racist to tell me about Jesus Christ. I don't need Charlie Kirk, a clear racist, to tell me about Jesus Christ. I have enough knowledge, enough IQ from God, okay, to be able to open the Bible up and read it on my own and to understand it, which I've been doing since I was a child. I don't need a racist to come to me to tell me the Bible is saying so-and-so. I don't need a racist to debate something in the Bible for me to believe in God, okay? I will never tune into a KKK rally to hear them talk about God, which they do. So why would you tell me to tune into Charlie Kirk, who is more than a KKK member? Okay, when it comes to what he was saying, he put more anti-God, anti-black stuff than the Grand Wizard of the KKK, and that's the truth. I'm not even exaggerating there. He literally did more than the Grand Wizard of the KKK, the leader of the KKK. But I'm supposed to listen to him? You guys must be out of your minds. But y'all look at me and say, I'm the one that's in the wrong. No, y'all are in the wrong. Y'all have become fools because you listen to men and women who are fools, okay? And they use Jesus Christ to cover up their foolishness. Like you see Marcus Rogers here, he didn't answer nothing that those guys said. Did he? No. But instead, he sat there with his finger on his chin. He had all the time to answer. I gave him all this time. How long has this video been? 5-something minutes, he couldn't in none of the minutes answer nothing they said. But instead he sat there and said nothing. Nothing at all. Because he has no answers. Instead he's going to sit there and say, and knowing that he has nothing, that's why he actually kept on saying, show me the video, show me the video. Because he knows that it's probably video that he's going to find that's going to prove him wrong. But he doesn't want to look for any videos, which there are plenty of them, because he doesn't want to know it, because he wants to make sure he stays with master. That he stays with the slave master mentality, because they're the ones giving him those bucks. Because a lot of white folks that are racist are giving him money online, okay? And he's appeasing them, so he can't go against his base. He's just like a political figure. He can't go against his base, and his base are fools that believe in this type of mentality. And they think they're going to ascend into heaven with Jesus. They're not going to heaven. I'm going to be honest with you. They're not going to heaven, because racism is evil. It's a sin. And all of them being racist, they're on their way to a burning hell. It's as simple as that. If you think like them, you also are going on your way to a burning hell. Okay, racism is not of God. All right, coming against a certain group of people because they're black or because of their skin color is not of God. And that's what these people routinely do. But they'll sit there and hold the Bible and say, we're going to heaven. No, y'all will have no part in heaven. Y'all will have you guys are going to fall into a burning hell with all of these slave masters they had, all these slaves. Y'all going to be with them. I believe God will put all of them together. They're going to be all grouped together. The old group and the new group, they all going to be put together. And then thrown into the lake of fire unless they repent. That's the truth. And I'm not lying to you. That's the 100% truth. Okay? Racism is a sin. It's hate. It's a variance of hate. And if you engage in hate, you will go to hell. It's as simple. In the Bible, they all say I believe in, it says that. Okay? Thanks for watching. God bless. Peace.